Okay, definitely. Okay, so we'll start. My name is Iber Poma. I work in the Educational Technology Office at Hostos Community College. And today we have two presenters for the first session in the Bronx EdTech Showcase. The name of the presentation is CD SIG Virtual Tutor Training. Today we have Ms. Leidy Pichardo, Associate Director, Bronx Community College, College Discovery. And we have Ms. Jessica Rivera, Academic Program Manager, Medgar Evers College, the Percy Sutton SIG program. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And so I'll be sharing my screen. Please hold. With that being said, I will start the slideshow. Ms. Levy, take it away.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Leidy Pichardo, Academic Support Manager and Associate Director of the College Discovery at Bronx Community College. My colleague Jessica and I will be speaking today about a wonderful collaboration that we've embarked on with regards to providing virtual tutor trainings for our tutoring staff in both of our campuses. So we're going to basically run through the agenda, give a brief introduction, discuss the big picture summary as co-creators and co-facilitators. You're also going to hear some wonderful feedback via testimony from some of our participants, and then we will open for some Q&A.
So there you go.
So who are we? Ms. Jessica and I are part of the Office of Special Programs, College Discovery and SEEK, Bronx Community College and Medgar Evers College. And basically our opportunity programs provide our students with academic support, financial support, and counseling support. So initially, we created the CD-SEEK Virtual Tutor Training Series. We began in the fall of 2020 because as many tutoring centers experienced, we had major budget cuts. And with that, we wanted to continue providing great professional development opportunities for tutors, not only at our campuses, but through CUNY. Initially, our targeted audience was solely our tutoring staff, but shortly it expanded to counselors and managers at all of the other CUNY colleges that we have within our network. So we were very happy that what started as a simple collaboration between two campuses expanded into a collaboration of 8 to 10 campus colleges and different audiences, not only tutors, but we were able to expand it and offer this wonderful opportunity to our other colleagues within our network. Ms. Jessica?
Thank you, Ms. Levy. So, big picture summary. What is the takeaway from the perspective of us, me and Ms. Levy, as co-creators and co-facilitators? So, just to kind of give you context, just to really connect with what my colleague was just saying, going back to fall 2020, our general goal was really saying, as administrators, how can we deliver professional quality, high impactful professional development for our tutors on both of our campuses? And so that was our original goal. But then as we went through the first semester with our participants, based on the feedback that we got from every workshop that we did, and then the final survey at the end, the participants wanted more. And so in addition to the participants wanting more, word got out. And so the type of participants we had, it actually grew. So instead of us just dealing with tutors, we had tutors that now had, a little bit more complex. They wore more hats in CUNY. Now these are tutors that were also adjunct professors. We had counselors who are licensed as social workers. We had other types of lecturers who came, and we also had program managers who came periodically. Maybe not to every session, but they definitely were present from the fall to the spring. And so with that, our actualized audience became a plethora of different educators. So we told you what was our intention, fall versus spring. What we're going to do is show you some evidence of what really happened, because based on the evidence, based on the feedback, I should say, from the participants that came in the fall, they wanted more in the sense that they said, okay, we love this theory, but what would make us better as educators and practitioners of our craft is to actually have practical application. So that's what we did, was we added we created a session where we had 45 minutes worth of concepts that Miss Leidy and myself would deliver, versus the second half where we had our very own tutors from our campuses serve as facilitators. So it was by tutors for tutors, and that was the mind frame. With that being said, let's go to the next slide. So this is evidence via surveys. So we did based on the last survey that was given in the fall as well as in the spring, this is what the participants had to say according to the data. 90% of the participants in the fall said they were overall satisfied. 100% of them said they would recommend the service to other people that they knew, and they did. 90% of them found the content excellent. 100% found the information relevant, and they found that Miss Leidy and myself often gel very well. And with that being said, 64 participants attended all sessions. So when we talk about retention, that was a very good number, especially because some of our, initially it was only tutors. And so not all tutors can come to every session because of budget cuts. A lot of them came because they were genuinely interested. Based on interest that grew, what we found in the spring 2021 version that we just wrapped up maybe about 2-3 weeks ago was that we found 80% of the participants said that they found what we did satisfying. 90% of them said that they would recommend it. 90% of the content they found excellent, and 100% found the information relevant, as well as they found the facilitators to be well. That included myself, Miss Leidy, and also our 2 tutors who led the practical application. So what does this mean? You heard enough from us administrators. Let's hear from the testimony from one of our tutor facilitators that led the spring 2021 series. So let's hear from Jason Sanchez from Bronx Community College. In addition to being a facilitator, he was also a tutor and adjunct. Give me 1 second.
Another thing that spoke volumes to me too is that I feel like I'm a valued member of the community.
Sorry.
Another thing that spoke volumes to me too is that I feel like I'm a valued member of the community. So that as a valued member of the community, as well as everyone else I work with, it does, we don't have to have a title to be a leader. And so everyone is the leader, even it's just that they're not aware of that. So as a leader, I really like the idea that I'm included, that students are included, and that staff are included, faculty are included, so that's what spoke volume.
So you heard it from the mouth of one of our actual tutor facilitators. For him, what made the difference was that he is a leader. He doesn't need a title. He felt involved. That's very empowering word. And with that being said, I am going to give the floor to my colleague, Ms. Leidy.
So the theme for our professional development series during the fall semester was how learning works, teaching our tutors effective teaching strategies that they can impart in their tutoring sessions with their students. In the spring, we wanted to turn things over to what does it mean to be an academic leader? So we used the book Academic Leadership, and now we are going to see some of the testimony by some of our counselors, faculty members, administrators, and tutors that participated in our wonderful virtual training series. We had a participation of 7 CUNY campuses, which was beyond our expectations. So we're very happy about that. So moving forward, we're going to take a look at the next slide. And here we're going to see the feedback and evidence of our pluses by a SEEK counselor at Medgar Evers and a CD tutor at Bronx Community College. We can't hear the sound, Jessica.
Yes, that's a calming
Sorry,
voice.
I muted myself. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it was a really great experience. This is my first time meeting Miss Leidy, and yes, that's a calming voice. But that's another side piece. But what I like about most is I love the breakout room sessions. I felt that that was more personal, and I was able to connect with other people whom I've never met before via Zoom. You know, in the space that we're in, it can be difficult. But once you were in a breakout room, you got a chance to really, know the person and really dive into the topic that was discussed. So I really enjoyed that.
And now we'll hear from our CD tutor, Michaeli.
I think one of the highlights was of all the professional development trainings was being able to speak and interact with other tutors and get their feedback as well when we run into issues. Like having that connection with other tutors was like one of the things that was most beneficial, aside from the content material that you ladies put together and facilitated.
And now we're going to hear testimony from one of our professors at Medgar Evers College, Dr. Jamo. And then we're going to hear a testimony from a SEEK tutor at Medgar Evers and Brooklyn College.
I think there isn't much to improve on now. I think it's just continue doing what we're doing and trying to see every time trying to see ways to make it better. So I don't think there's anything really particular to improve on. It's a very good program. So we just kind of keep trying to see what else can be added to make it a lot more appealing and also increase the flavor. So.
I have a follow-up question. What would be a better ideal? What are ideal times you think for tutors?
For tutors?
To attend.
Okay. Ideal time. The thing is, it's kind of difficult because to say because again, I can only speak for myself. I would prefer like evening time, like around 5 to 6 p.m. Only because maybe 4. Only because of it's like the end of the day. But again, some people will feel they want to get out of the way in the morning because they're fresh, they're able to, they're awake. Rather than at the end of the session, they'll be like, I'm tired. I don't really feel that. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like going because I know I'm just very tired, more or less. So I would say it depends on the tutor, more or less. As much as I can only speak for myself, that I would prefer the afternoon. That's just me because I still have energy left over after I'm done tutoring. But so far, I can speak for myself that I think maybe Monday and Wednesday, like around 3 p.m. specifically. That's just, again, my schedule specifically would be a good idea for me because I'm just done teaching. I have some energy left over, so then I can go jump right into this meeting more or less for the training session. Again, that's just me.
Sorry, we apologize that the volume is a little bit low. Maybe if on the recording itself, Jessica, you can raise the volume.
Okay.
Yep, right there.
Thank you.
On each one, maybe that may be low. And then now, lastly, we'll hear from one of our SEEK program managers, Ms. Georgia, and then from a final John Jay College tutor. And these are some recommendations that were given to us on how we can further develop this wonderful collaboration.
I'll start with, there really wasn't anything that I liked least. I thought the training was wonderful. I think the only thing is, time-wise, and, tutors being able to participate. I know that it's not always possible to run the training at 2 times a week, but maybe offer it at different times, or repeat certain sessions, maybe even for the next semester, because some students, budget wise, we're not always able to pay a tutor if they're not working that day. So that's really the only thing, you know that I would say that we could change.
What topics do you feel are very important for the development of tutors as we move forward, especially considering the fact that we're going to continue working remotely? Are there any important topics or particular topics you feel that we should touch upon and bring, to you guys for further training?
What I would say is that maybe we should talk about, how to approach students that feel that they're in the middle of crisis or, in a tough situation, because with everything that has been going on with regard to social and racial justice, in my experience as a tutor this semester, I have come across situations where I think students sometimes just feel very what's the word? They feel very displaced. They feel
Okay, so Ms. Jessica will wrap things up for us.
So what you heard was what we heard was different types of stakeholders, different types of participants that came to our workshop. When I say different, they had a plethora of different experiences, different classifications, and they worked in different circles, which brings, when you bring that all together, it really ties into what our third testimony said. It's a way for us to increase the flavor. It's a way for us to say, okay, how can we use our superpower of being an educator and continue to work on our craft, but also share the intimacy of what we do with our students. With that being said, what were the summarized pluses? What were the summarized deltas and recommendations for future practice should we continue? So based on the testimony that you've seen, the pluses that we saw was they love the idea to socialize, the idea to interact. They found the topics to be applicable and to be relevant. Just to give you context, let's refer back to what the first two ladies said, Takesha and McKeely. They like the ideas of the breakout rooms. They like the idea that they were able to network and work with people that they would have not been able to work with outside of their job. And because everything is remote, look how easy it is in terms of click a link, you're here. Now they're able to work on different prompts and really get other perspectives. Now that ties into the interaction. What Miss Leidy and myself did was that we wanted to present, yes, we wanted to originally do professional development to say, okay, how can you be successful as an educator, as a tutor? But it evolved into something so much more. Based on the feedback and the demand, we added the component of, okay, now let's take this concept and now let's actualize it so we can help you and you can help us in turn discuss what does it mean to be an academic leader. And the reason why we wanted to go so hard was that it really ties to what Jason, our tutor facilitator, stated. He stated that you don't have to have a title to be involved, to be important. You don't need to. And that really kind of leads us into the deltas. Based on what our two gentlemen, Dr. Jamal and soon to be Dr. Palomino, said, was that they wish they had more time for activities. And so based on the feedback, even if we didn't show it, but they did allude to it, the participants said that, we like the breakout activities. However, what we was told was depending on what the topic is, we should, like on a case to case basis, say, okay, we'll do 30 minutes of concept and do the rest application versus 45 minutes and so forth. And lastly, and scheduling ties into recommendations. It's the idea, okay, we were asked to look into scheduling options, and as well as maybe including other stakeholders into the conversation. So there could be a more diverse conversation and learning material happening. With that being said, I'd like to turn the floor for any questions or clarity. If not, what I want to say is thank you so much for allowing us to come into your safe space. And Miss Leidy, would you like to close officially?
We are very thankful and for this opportunity. We do realize that the pandemic has brought lots of challenges, but also with it lots of opportunities. And many opportunities for us to extend our collaboration, not only internally at each of our campuses, but externally. And moving forward, we hope to be even more exclusive and cast the net broader to include the collaboration of tutors and tutor managers at each of our campuses. We're looking into planning in possibly collaborating in writing a grant so that we can get funding as well, because one of the major challenges was that tutors across CUNY, while some campuses were able to compensate their tutors for being part of the virtual tutor trainings, unfortunately other campuses were not. So the tutors were actually being volunteering their time. They were just volunteering their time. And as we saw, I know personally, I can speak for the tutors on my campus, we saw lots of growth in their teaching development and the professional development, in the strategies and working with students. And we are so very excited about this collaborative effort this past year. And I know that Jessica and I look forward to extending this wonderful practice and collaborative effort in the future. So thank you guys so very much. Does anyone, did everyone, let's see, are there any questions? Thank you, Sadiq.
He said, we're glad that many different groups were represented and included. Yeah, it's just going to increase the flavor.
Yep, definitely. So it is 11:30, right? So that gives everyone a chance to,
unwind
and transition on to their other session. So we hope that you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Yes, and thank you for the presentation. Thank you for sharing that, information. And we'll see you around. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.